Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome, join on in, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever. I initially wanted to do 10 products from 10 drugstore brands, but I just don't have 10 drugstore brands to talk about because I have not tried that much. Sometimes I try things from one brand, so I have like a bunch of Catrice in my collection, a bunch of e.l.f., but I don't particularly have like 10 brands or more to share. So that is why I only came up with 10 products from drugstore brands in general. So starting with Catrice, this was pretty easy for me because I have two products that stand out so much to me, not only from Catrice, but generally speaking in my entire collection. The first one is the Catrice True Skin Foundation. This is such a good foundation for so many different occasions. This is pretty lightweight on the skin and it does not look very cakey, but it has a very beautiful coverage. So you can really make this work for you depending if you want something more sheer, if you want something medium, or if you want something full coverage. You can get it with this foundation, but it's so beautiful because it really meshes into your skin. It never looks cakey. I've heard people with dry skin really like it. I have heard people with oily skin really like it. So I think this is an all-rounder, and depending on what you want to do with it, you can really manipulate it to look the way you want. This is not a full coverage where you have to worry that it's going to look masky. Just make sure you don't apply too much. It has a more semi-matte finish. It's not overly glowy, although it's called a hydrating foundation. That is what I love about it as well, is like the finish is very natural, but it doesn't feel like it's going to dry out your skin. I have used it in a bunch of my videos and this is definitely like hands down, if you want a new foundation, and I'm not only talking about drugstore, generally all price points, this is really, it's just so good. Try it, really. I don't think you'll be disappointed. The next one is the Catrice More Than Glow highlighter. I have also raved about these. I have two shades. The one I'm holding up right here is my favorite, 010 Ultimate Platinum Glaze. It's the more yellow toned one. I just think this goes with more looks because the rosy one is very beautiful when I want something more rosy, but I also think it just doesn't match every single look. Whereas this one is like a neutral goldeny kind of color. I think this will look good every single time. I'm wearing it on my nose tip and I'm wearing it on my cheeks, but I did apply a little bit of Soft and Gentle from MAC over top because I haven't used that one in a while and I wanted to use it again. This is so buttery, so smooth. It doesn't enhance any texture. It just meshes into your skin as if you're using a cream highlighter. So it's really one of those wet looking highlighters that look like a cream, but they are a powder. It's so good. It looks very smooth on the skin and it's just beautiful for the intense glow that you can get out of this, but still maintain a skin-like effect. And for the price tag, this is a really good option. I've not tried too much from e.l.f., but when I tried these products, I knew that for as long as I can, I will be using these. And I'm talking about the e.l.f. Putty products because the Putty blush and the Putty bronzer are the exact same formula. They do have a new formula out, which is the Luminous Putty blush. I'm waiting for 2 shades of that. I ordered Maui and Bermuda and I'm really excited. So I'll tell you what I think of those once I get them, but the original ones are so good. Ever since I got the bronzer, I have only been using this as my bronzer. I have not touched a powder bronzer and I don't even feel bad about it because it's so good. I love it. It's super blendable. It's not too much of like, you know, it's not too pigmented where you have to be scared. So the shade I have is Honey Drip and it may look super dark if you look at my skin tone, but I'm wearing it today and it's just not that pigmented. It sheers out very well, it blends out very well, so you can definitely go a shade deeper. And I don't think you will have to worry about blending or anything because it really blends itself out. It's a beautiful matte finish. It feels powdery to the touch, so you don't have to actually set it. You apply it and it looks perfect on its own. And the same thing goes for the blush. I have the shade Bora Bora, which is a cool toned kind of pink but slightly neon. This as well, it looks just so beautiful on the cheeks. They just look like a baby's butt in a way. Very, very smooth, and just you just look so airbrushed. So if you don't like a matte blush, skip the blush. I mean, you can always apply like a cream highlighter or a powder highlighter on top, but for the bronzer, I really recommend this. Like, I usually have a pretty oily forehead, but wherever I apply the bronzer, it stays. About a week ago, when it was super hot where I live, it was like, we had like 36 degrees Celsius. It was humid, it was hot, and I went with my friends to like a little lake, and we were really sweating our butts off, and my makeup looked phenomenal. I used this and it still looked good, and it's so inexpensive. So from e.l.f. I love these two, really. I will definitely always have this in my collection as long as they have it in theirs. Another blush and bronzer formula that I wanted to talk about is the butter line from Physicians Formula. I tried these for the first time last year, which is pretty late to the game because these have been around for such a long time. People have been loving them for the longest time, but I just never got around to try them, and when I tried them, I fell hard for these because these are so beautiful. These are obviously not comparable to the e.l.f. products. This is a powder formula, but it's such, as the name suggests, a beautiful powdery a beautiful buttery formula that blends on the skin seamlessly. I have the original butter bronzer shade, and this works so well for me, and I just love how smooth it is. It really airbrushes your skin, and it's just a staple. So many people rave about it, and I can totally see why. I don't remember if I bought these at the same time. I might have. And I also got the blush. This is the shade Rosy Pink. Everyone has been talking about Bubble from Persona Cosmetics, or the Dior Glow Pink Glow something blush. Look at this. It's very similar. It's like that baby pink, cool toned pink blush. I'm wearing it on my cheeks today on top of a little bit of a lipstick that I had before because I wanted like a no makeup, and then I decided to film. So you can barely see the lipstick. It's mostly this blush. If you want a cool tone pink blush that has been so popular, this one is so good. It is that beautiful satin kind of sheen that you get on the cheeks. This is more matte than shimmery. It's really not shimmery. It's matte to satin. So if that is something you like, it is so good. It's not overly pigmented. You can really build it up, and you can get it quite pink. And it is just so beautiful. I used this last year on vacation like crazy, and every time I wear it, I feel just so fresh and just so lively because it really brightens up your skin tone, especially if you have brunette hair, if you have pale skin. This is just such a beautiful color. It looks very scary, but trust me, it is so good. I just want to very quickly compare Bora Bora to this because Bora Bora, as I said, is a cool tone pink kind of, but you'll see it looks way warmer than Rosy Pink does. As you can see, Rosy Pink looks very purple, very scary, but trust me, they're both so beautiful. It really just depends on what formula you think you'll like more, but really, the butter line, hands down, such a good powder formula. It has to be one of the best. I wanted to talk about BH Cosmetics because I have not tried the most of them. I love their brushes. I actually should consider talking about their brushes, but when I tried this, I was like, no, this has to be my favorite. It is the Hangin in Hawaii eyeshadow palette. I have also talked about this on my channel before. I've showcased it, I've used it in tutorials. This is such a perfect everyday palette, especially for the spring and summertime. I think it's gorgeous, even for the fall, honestly, all year around. It is just a neutral to warm kind of eyeshadow palette. It has the most beautiful selection of shades, lush vegan mix of sandy and toasted coconut tones with pops of pigmented melon and spice. Offers endless radiant and long-lasting looks for day and night. the description is just spot on. It really is like sandy and toasty kind of shades, but also melon. I've used this one as a blush before actually, and it was very, very pretty. This palette I love, and these shimmers here, outstandingly good. This I have in my inner corner, and I've used Maui in my crease today. This for every day when you want to do a quick look and you know you only gravitate towards browny kind of colors, but you also want to experiment a little bit with more warm colors. This is so good because it's $16, so it's about $1 for a shadow really. And you will get so much use out of this, trust me. I have ventured out to more pinky kind of colors, spice kind of shades, and it's just so nice to have it all in one palette. If this is a color story that speaks to you, you will love this because the formula is also so good. It is slightly powdery, but not too much. They blend very easily, they are very pigmented, and the shimmers really, they are so wet looking, so intense. I love this palette so much. I don't think you can go wrong with this. I also have the Beautiful in Barcelona palette, but that one is very deep. It's very, very smoky and more seductive, I guess. And this one is just perfect for every day. This one is like hands down. When I want something neutral but a little bit warm, like especially when I'm in the summer, I just feel very bronzy. This palette is such a go-to. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about Maybelline. When I thought of my favorite Maybelline products, I was kind of like, what do I really like? I use 2 products every single day, and I am actually changing my mind this moment, which is interesting. I wanted to talk about the Lifter Gloss, but then I think I like it. Yes, I do, but it's not my favorite from Maybelline. I'm sorry, Lifter Gloss. It's a really good gloss, but I'm actually going to drop it. It's not my favorite from Maybelline. Hold on, I'm going to grab what I actually love. Okay, so one thing that I have been using for so long, and it looks embarrassingly small, is this eyeliner pencil from Maybelline. This is so good. Before this, I had tried many pencils, but they never lasted. They always smeared throughout the day. This one is so good. This one is the Tattoo eyeliner pencil. I have the shade Smooth Walnut because I love brown around my brown eyes. I just think brown looks very, like, it's still defined, but it's not overly stark and harsh. So I always opt for brown. And this, I mean, you can see it used to be a pretty big eyeliner, like it used to be a normal size, and I have used this so much. It's super creamy, it never tugs on my eye, it's just so smooth and buttery to use. I love it. I really almost forgot because it's such an everyday staple. I just automatically gravitate towards it. I just grab it, do my eyeliner. So I didn't even think, but hands down, this has to be one of my favorite Maybelline products. And the other one, it's also like an everyday kind of favorite, but I knew I was going to talk about this. It's the Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara that I always use. This is so good because it holds up my hairs very well. Also really love about it is simply the brush. The brush is like very interesting and I really enjoy it. Like the longer bristle side, it's just so easy to comb out my longer brow hairs. I really enjoy it, and I have the shade Dark Brown. I think for the next time that I'm going to repurchase this, I'll use a lighter shade because sometimes I feel like my brows just look too dark, but this, really, it's such a beautiful brow mascara. It's not overly hairsprayed down. It's just natural and beautiful. I don't think you can go wrong with this. I don't think this has fibers in it, but it just makes your brows look more put together and very pretty. So it's an everyday staple. Like when I don't do soap brows, this is the only brow gel that I use. Now for NYX, this was not hard at all. if I think of NYX, I immediately think of the lip liners. Their lip liners are so good. They are such a cult favorite, I feel, and I think that people are even now starting to see how good they are. NYX lip liners are really, really good because they don't tug on the lip. They're not too creamy. They're just like that perfect in between. They're not the most long lasting, but they have shades that are very, very beautiful. I have raved on and on about Nude Beige. I think it's very similar to Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a little lighter than that. They're just essential. I think NYX does a great job on these and I would highly recommend them if you have not tried them before. I wanted to talk about Essence because this was pretty hard. I know that I kind of cheated, you know, talking some brands of two things, but that was really when I could not choose. But with Essence, I love their blushes, I love their glosses, but there's one product that is so underrated, like I see no one else talk about, but I really enjoy it and I think it's so good, and I'm actually wearing it today. And it is their Hydrating Nude lipstick. I don't hear people talk about these and I just don't understand why. I have the shade 302 Heavenly and it is really a beautiful color. It's like a cool tone, light nude color, but it's not too light. It's just so beautiful. This formula is so creamy, so buttery. I love this formula so much. It's very forgiving on the lips. Not the most long lasting, but it's just so beautiful. Like for every day, you just want to put something on your lips because you're out and about and you don't have the time for a lipstick and a gloss, and you just want something to give you a little bit of color, a little bit of a glow. This is so perfect for that. Like when I really am rushing, I just take this and I'm done, and it always looks so beautiful. It's more forgiving than a matte and it's just such a nice color. It reminds me of a lip balm, but it has more color to it. I enjoyed this lipstick formula so much. I actually like this almost as much as their collagen, cool collagen lipsticks. That is what they're called. I also have one in the shade My Mind 202, I believe. It's also very pretty, but I think that formula is more thin and this is a little bit more like thick creamy. So I think I like the Hydrating Nude line a little bit more, but the other one is also really good. I just think this is a little bit more comfortable on the lips and feels very like very plush. It just feels very good. I wish more people would like them or talk about them. Maybe they don't like them, that's why no one talks about them, but I think they're really good. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about L'Oreal. I have tried a bunch of things from L'Oreal over the years, but there's just this product that I really like the most, I think, and it's their lipsticks, their Color Riche Shine lipsticks. This one is the Color Riche Shine and Plump. That is why it's kind of like rose gold. It's very nice. It's kind of cooling, minty on the lips, so if you don't like that, maybe try the original Color Riche Shine. These have the silver with the gold and they are very, very wet looking, very creamy. They don't last long. These are not long lasting lip products, so if you're looking for something mask proof, long lasting, these are not that. These are good if you like something not overly sheer. Like this one in the shade Guava Plump is slightly more sheer, but this one in the shade MLBB is like a very, very light nude, but it has good pigment to it, but they look just so glossy on the lips, which is why I think they're so good for every day, for like that natural makeup look. It's kind of interesting because ever since we have been wearing masks, some people just want either mask proof lip products, they want no lip products, or they only want something sheer and glossy. This is not particularly sheer, but they're very glossy, they're very comfortable. I do have to say I like the scent of the Plump and Shine more because it smells very sweet. This one, I don't like the scent. Don't like it at all, to be honest. It smells like floral BO. I know that sounds awful, but that is literally what it smells like, really. It's like a very artificial, like trying to be floral and fresh, but it just does not smell very good. It's not that original L'Oreal scent. It's not that, but I really don't like it, which is why I don't use this formula as much. But when I use it, I just love how it looks, how it feels, the color and the finish. It's just the scent. The scent is a little bit, I just wish they would either completely remove this scent or keep the same scent like with the Plump and Shine. If you're looking for a lipstick that just feels and looks like a high-end, like glowy lip balm, glowy lipstick type of product that a bunch of brands are coming out with, try these ones from L'Oreal. I really do like them. It's just a scent. And that, my friends, completes today's video. My voice is starting to kind of fade and my throat is a little bit like because I feel like I've been talking for such a long time, but I really hope you guys enjoyed these. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 10 favorites are, or top 5, whatever it is. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Until then, take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!